Okay, let's begin. So if you're not already down on your mat, I'll ask that we come into Shavasana, laying flat on our floor, so we can begin our yoga stretch class together. Taking ourselves all the way back down. Let's become very relaxed. However long it takes us to feel that way, let's get ourselves into that position. Shoulders on the ground. Left and right sides of the hips melting into the floor. Whether our knees are bent or our legs are straight, let's allow them to relax, feeling the hips open. Palms can be resting on our bellies, or arms can be out extended on the floor on either side of our body, palms facing up towards the sky. Now, as we're lying here, we're relaxed, becoming more and more aware of our surroundings, noticing any sound that we hear, just being aware of it, not needing to fix it or stop it, being aware of it and not letting it distract us. Now noticing what's happening inside the body. Do we feel tense? Do we feel calm? Do we feel rested or agitated? Knowing these things, understanding our feelings. Now let's use our breathing to really start to control those feelings. A big inhale through the nose, followed by a complete exhale through the nose. Filling up the diaphragm with each inhale, feeling the stomach rising up to the ceiling. And then letting every last bit of air come out of that diaphragm, melting down into the ground as we surrender our body to the mat. Now, as we continue to work ourselves into a more relaxed state using our breathing, noticing how this feels on the rest of our body. Are we clenching our eyebrows? Are we tight through the jaw? Let's relax those facial features. Release the shoulders into the mat. On our next inhale, big long reach up of the arms overhead. Let's stretch out through the shoulders, the rib cage, opening everything up. Whether it's been days, weeks, months since we've last practiced yoga, just becoming more aware of how our body is feeling as we start to open and expand. Let's release our arms down now, gathering our knees into our chest and giving ourselves that big hug. And as we hold either behind the knees on the thighs or on top on the shins, let's begin to rock side to side. Gently kneading out any tension in the lower back. Maybe feeling some knots, some pinching. Again, yoga is a wonderful place to become more aware of how our body is operating and functioning, how it feels. Continuing to hold the knees into the chest, let's start to roll through the ankles. Releasing the toes. Encouraging blood flow down through the feet into the arches. We'll be singling out our stretch, keeping a hold of our right knee as we lower that left leg all the way down to the ground. Open that right knee now out towards the right shoulder. Just a little movement as we open the hip. Couple really nice big breaths. Slowly drawing the knee across towards the left shoulder now, continuing to pull the thigh in towards the body. Noticing if the sensation changed, where it localized now in the outside of that hip. Drawing the thigh in towards the body and now releasing the leg down to the floor. On our next inhale, we bring the left leg up into the chest, opening the knee out towards that left shoulder, slightly stretching through the inner thighs. Cross the hips, trying to stay calm through the chest and the neck. Now we'll draw the knee over towards the right shoulder now. Again, the sensation may change where it's concentrating. Now, probably feeling it in the outer hip. And we'll bring that leg in, releasing the leg down to the floor, taking the feet flat onto the ground. Let's ensure that we are in fact balanced. We found that neutral spine, hips are balanced left to right, feet are comfortable on the ground, with hands coming to the side of our head, preparing for some abdominal work. We'll take that zipper and draw up through the midline of body. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders up off of the ground, and exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, activating the core muscles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, trying not to rely on the hips or the head. Inhale, but really thinking about those abdominal muscles. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. Last time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Taking our arms down by our side, continuing to activate the core, focusing specifically on the glutes now. I'll ask that we walk our feet in just a little bit closer. This helps really trigger the glute muscles. We inhale, lift the hips up, happy with the flexion through the knees. Exhale, slowly roll down, articulating spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, lifting the hips up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, use the glutes to do the job. Exhale, release, break the chest expansion. Expanding through the chest 1 more time. Inhale, lift up, press the shoulders to the floor. And exhale, relaxing down. Very nice. Release the feet as we slowly turn over onto our sides. We're going to work ourselves up and over, pressing back into child's pose. So however you'd like to get up into that all fours position, pressing back through the hips. We extend the arms and bring our foreheads down close to the floor. If today you'd rather focus on relaxation, please feel free to drive those hands under the forehead. This is much more comfortable. Otherwise, for the work portion, we're going to continue to push the arms away. Now from child's pose, we'll come up into tabletop. Taking hands directly beneath shoulders, pulling those bellies in, flattening out the backs, relaxing the toes, taking spinal balance. Again, a core exercise. We extend the right arm directly forward, thumb to the ceiling, press our left leg back behind us, creating a straight line, and slowly lower. Inhale, left arm and right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale 1 more time, noticing our balance. Inhale, left. Exhale, holding tabletop. Soft through the elbows, spread through the fingers for better distribution with our weight. We take our cows and cats. Inhale, look open. And exhale, round up. Inhale, untucking the tailbone. Long through the neck as we gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Pull the belly buttons in. Tuck the chin. Inhale, open. Notice how this feels on the back, the chest, the abs. Exhale, round. 1 more time through. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Pressing back into child's pose again. Notice how this feels on our legs, our hips, our back, our shoulders. Taking a modified flow series, we're going to come forward into a kneeling plank, stacking shoulders above wrists. Hinging at the elbows, we lower the body halfway or until we can control, baby crocodile. Inhale, press straight up, keeping backs flat into that kneeling plank position. Exhale, push back into child's pose. We'll do this 3 more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower. This is a modified chaturanga. Inhale, press straight up. Exhale, push back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, elbows brushing rib cage if we can. Inhale, press straight up. Exhale, pushing back. Last time, inhaling forward. Exhale. Inhale, press straight up. Exhale, pressing back. From child's pose, curl the toes and walk our hands and feet together, coming up towards the top of our mat. We lift halfway up into a lift, flattening on our back. This is referred to as monkey. In monkey, we work on our posture, pulling those shoulder blades together, slight bend in the knees, feeling a really nice stretch of the hamstrings. Now sitting back into chair pose, sitting weight down to your heels, standing arms up front. Whenever we raise our arms, if it's uncomfortable in any way, let's find heart center as a really good substitution. Now from our chair pose, we feel a little bit of heat building. We inhale, lift our arms, raise them up above our head, and exhale, release. Good. Stepping to the top of our mat if we've moved at all. We're going to come in through our sun salutation series. From sun sal, we start in Tadasana. Rolling the shoulders down, soft knees as we stand very proudly, very strong. Inhale, lift the hands up to prayer. Exhale, swan dive, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift up to monkey. Exhale, releasing through fold. Hands come down as we step back to plank. Pressing all the way back into down dog or child's pose if you prefer. Inhaling forward into plank. We can leave the legs up or drop the knees down. As we exhale, chaturanga, slow lower to the floor. Inhale, scoop up for cobra, whether it's modified or full. Exhale, pressing back into down dog or child's pose. Lots of options. Walking the feet together, taking lots of steps or 1, 2. We come up halfway to monkey. Bending our knees, inhale, reverse swan dive, lift up tall. Exhale, sweep, sitting back into your chair. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive, big sweep of those arms down through forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to monkey, bringing back parallel to the ground. Exhale, release through fold. Bending the knees as we step back into plank. Pressing back into down dog or child's pose. Listen to your body, take the stretch that's right for you. Inhale, forward through plank, with or without the knees down as we exhale, chaturanga, lower to the mat. Inhale, scooping up for cobra. Exhale, pressing back, down dog or child's pose. Inhale, walking the hands and feet together. Exhale, coming up halfway to monkey. Bending our knees, big inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep, sitting into chair. Proud through the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, continuing with our roll all the way down to fold. Inhale, halfway up to monkey. Exhale, sweep. Stepping both feet back, plank position. Pressing back, down dog or child's. Feeling maybe a little bit more fluid here as we inhale forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scooping up. Exhale, pressing back. Inhale, stepping our feet out between hands. Coming halfway up to monkey. Softening our knees, inhale, lift up. Exhale, sweep, sitting into your chair. One last time through sun salutation. Inhale. Now exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway up to monkey. Exhale, release through fold. Stepping back into plank. Pressing all the way back, down dog or child's pose. Inhaling forward through plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, sweep up for cobra. Exhale, sweep back, down dog or child's. Inhale, step our feet all the way up. Coming up halfway to monkey. Softening our knees, big inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep, sitting to your chair. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Oh, always feeling so alive after our sun salutation. Taking a few really nice big breaths here as we come back into Tadasana. Tadasana, feet our hips a distance apart, lifting up, rolling those shoulders, always proud, opening through that heart center, tall through the crown of our head. Notice our breathing, slightly faster than before. Heart rate is also coming at a faster speed. We're aware of this. We're going to take our lateral extension next. Inhale that right arm all the way up. Now exhale, reach your left hand down into the floor as we reach our right arm higher to the ceiling. I like to press that right foot just a little bit farther down into the ground. Inhale, lift up. Now exhale, lowering the right arm. We'll lift that left arm up just a little bit higher. Notice this stretch through the side. Inhale, lift the right arm. And exhale, release. Taking chest expansion next, soft through the knees. We're going to interlace our fingers behind us. I'll just turn around so you can see what my hands are doing. Hands are coming together like you're squeezing through an orange. Holding that orange, and roll the shoulders down as we start to lengthen the arms. A little bit of a lift through the chin. Now, if anyone feels like we need more, we start to raise the arms away from the body, but understanding that we never have to lift those arms. Continuing to lift taller through the chest, pull those bellies in. One more big inhale. And exhale, relax. Release the arms, take that big shoulder roll. And let's prepare for Warrior One. Warrior One, the right foot's at the top of our mat. We'll step our left foot all the way back. So we try to leave our hips and shoulders square to the front. As we press that left foot down, we bring our hips and shoulders so that they're level rather than tilted or twisted. Finding our balance as we lift our arms again up above the head, or if we prefer, down through heart center. Shoulders down. Abdominal muscles that we've already activated, zipped up tight. I'm going to close my eyes, allowing this particular pose to become more internalized. Focusing on the temperature of the body, on my breath, noticing my balance. How does this feel? Are we fidgeting? Do we need to keep our eyes open and fixed on one spot to help with our balance? From here, opening to Warrior Two, let's turn to the long edge of our mat. As we continue to bend forward into that right knee, shoulders and hips are stacked on top of that line on your mat. I've got an imaginary line today. And as we bend forward to that right knee, we can look over our right hand. And if anyone would prefer, looking straight ahead is also a really nice place to keep the neck. Wherever our gaze feels more comfortable. Falling in the belly button as we continue to open that right knee back. We'll take triangle next as we start to straighten out that leg. Keep the leg slightly soft in the front as we hitch that back hip, reaching forward with our right arm. We allow the right hand to come down to the floor and the left arm to reach up a little bit higher to the ceiling. If this is uncomfortable at all on either shoulder, feel free to take that top arm behind your back. You can always bend the knee and bend the elbow as well, coming into side angle instead. Otherwise, we're holding triangle, standing very straight, very strong, feeling in power as we open up through those hips and shoulders. Softening the knees as we start to gently lift our body up and slowly step together. Fidgeting out the feet, stepping back to the top of our mat, rolling the shoulders, and stepping our right foot behind us as we take our Warrior series again, but now with our left foot at the top of the mat. When we feel in position with the legs, we can bring our arms up. Feeling free to open the legs a little bit wider if we feel we need a broader or bigger stance that helps with the stability, absolutely. Draw the shoulders down as we continue to zip up nice and tight through the abdominal muscles. And if it's available to us, closing our eyes, working on our balance, focusing on our breathing. One more big breath. Opening into Warrior Two. Turning to the side of our mat. Bending over that left knee. Torso faces the long edge as our left knee and left toes face the short edge. Let's continue to hold that warrior two position nice and strong as we open across the chest and hips. Couple more big breaths. Very nice. Taking ourselves into a triangle. We'll start to extend that front leg, a little micro bend left in the knee, reaching forward with our left hand, taking that hand, grazing that bottom leg as we lift the top arm to the sky. Now, just as we did on the first side, if that's uncomfortable, we take the hand low, finding a stretch or a release through the shoulder. Otherwise, as we hold triangle, let's continue to draw straight lines up from top hand into bottom hand. One more big inhale. As we exhale, start to soften that knee, reaching ourselves upwards, and then stepping our feet together at the top of our mat. Go ahead and fidget the feet if that feels good. We're going to be taking ourselves next into tree, rolling our shoulders down, making sure that we feel very strong, very proud. And if we need a little help with our balance, either having something that we can grab nearby or something that we can stare at, that's going to help with a fixed point of view. Let's take that right leg out to the side, open through the hip as we draw the foot in. Whether we leave the toe on the floor today, maybe that's how we need to hold our balance, or we can bring it up to our calf or all the way above the knee to that inner thigh. Now we can hold our hands low in low hanging branches, strong through cactus, tall through prayer, or centered, holding the hands at the heart. Wherever we choose to hold them, let's make sure that they're helping us and they're not causing us a distraction. We never hold a position just because we think it's the one that we should do today. Really play with the pose until we find the one that's working for our body, enabling us to lift a little bit taller to that left hip, open a little bit wider through the right hip. And if we're getting frustrated with our balance, understanding that it is something that takes practice, and we'll continue to work on it every week. On our next inhale, let's draw our knee in through the middle, and then exhale, slowly release down. Go ahead and fidget out those feet, encouraging lots of blood flow, reestablishing Tadasana, mountain pose. Mountain pose being 2-foot stance, upright position, very strong, very proud. Extending our left leg out to the side, opening the hip and drawing the foot in, taking the foot, whether it stays on hip, just like a bicycle stand, or up into the calf, or all the way up into the inner thigh. Now, the foot placement, we want to match the placement of the right side. However, if it's different, that's okay. Don't be too hard on ourselves. Same with the position of the arms right now. Let's notice if they need to be somewhere else or if we can have them be the same. And if we're in a position for a tree pose that we're not happy with, change it. We can absolutely change it. Lifting taller out of that right hip. Staying open. Lengthening down to that left side. Good. Almost there. Always a good idea to work on our balance, especially in the winter months. Slippery outside. All right, with our next inhale, drawing the leg in, and exhale, release, fidgeting out through the feet. Taking ourselves to the very top of our mat. We're going to be working our way back down to the floor. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Beautiful stretch as we allow the head to hang, the back to lengthen. The knees are as soft as they need to be as we relax through the upper body. And as we take our time, I'll ask us to come down onto hands and knees, sweeping those feet around. making sure that we're comfortable as we sit tall on our mat. We're going to begin a little bit of our seated work, coming into some stretching with our feet coming together, soles pressing together into butterfly. So as we hold our ankles, we'll glue the toes, sitting up really nice and tall. Start to slowly hinge forward. We can keep our elbows tucked in if that's more comfortable, or we can start to use them propped against our legs, opening up through the hips, keeping our backs as long and flat as we feel comfortable doing. And then I always like to add in a slight tuck of the chin, lengthening through the back of the neck as well. During this portion of our class, I'll ask that we focus even more on slowing our breathing, taking deeper, fuller breaths to really encourage that relaxation response. Now slowly lifting up, drawing those knees in together. We'll take our feet out extended and then open the legs into a seated straddle split. I'll turn to the side a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. In your straddle split, it's as shallow or as big as it needs to be, whether it's quite close together or legs quite spread apart. We're going to target the focus on continuing to open up through the inner thigh as well as the side body like we've been doing today. With our right knuckles along the inside of the right leg, taking that left arm and start to lift that arm all the way up towards the ceiling. As soon as we feel a bit of a stretch, we're going to hold it. See if we can leave the shoulders down away from our ears as we reach that right arm and right hand towards the right foot. So at any point, if this is feeling uncomfortable, again, we can take that left hand down. Just try to open still across the collar. See if we can keep the heels on the ground, the toes up to the ceiling, sitting on the sit bones with straight legs. Noticing where we're feeling this as we expand through that left rib cage. On our next inhale, slowly starting to lift up through the middle. Hand of the left comes down, and we exhale, lifting that right arm up now. Same thing, notice if that right shoulder just fell forward, or if we're able to keep the shoulder down and back, reaching the arm up nice and straight. Couple more breaths. Inhale, lifting up, and relax. Good, shaking out those legs. Next, we're going to take ourselves into an upside down table. In our upside down table, it's really great for stretching across the chest. We're going to start with planting our feet flat on the floor, working our arms back and behind us. Now, I want our fingers to face in towards our feet. However, if it's more comfortable, please feel free to turn them out to the side. What I want us to avoid is turning the hands so that they're facing opposite. That tends to put too much pressure on the elbow and the shoulder. With our hands placed directly beneath the shoulders, either stand forward towards the feet or slightly out. Dig the heels in underneath the knees, keeping them hips width distance apart. Now we're going to secure the shoulders, tuck the chest, and lift the hips up. Only as high as you're feeling comfortable with. Now I need to walk my feet out just a little bit more. Lift my hips up just a little bit higher, keeping elbows soft. We can continue to look forward, or you can look up to the ceiling. Personally, I prefer looking forward, like tuck of the chin, engaging through my abdominal muscles, noticing this through the chest, our arms, continuing to squeeze the glutes as we lift the hips. We'll only hold this for a couple more breaths. Good, working against hunched over a computer desk. We're correcting that. We're holding this for one more big inhale. Exhale carefully, bend the elbows as we start to slowly lower. And release. We can give those wrists a little bit of a circle. I know that that's a position that we don't often put our wrists into, working on that range of motion and mobility. Next, I'll ask that we continue to stay seated upwards or upright, preparing for a seated spinal twist. We'll take that right leg and bend the knee in. We can keep the foot placed on the inside of the left knee, or if anyone prefers, we can place the foot on the outside of that left leg. What I want to just double check is that we're keeping the kneecap pointing straight up to the ceiling. We don't want to take the expense of having it crossed over just to get the foot across. If that's the case, let's bring it back in. Sitting up really nice and tall, we'll start to bring that right hand around behind us. The left elbow can come in for a hug. As we continue to inhale, we'll sit up a little bit taller. And on our exhale, we'll just twist and rotate behind that right shoulder a little bit more. Again, every inhale, sit up a little bit taller. And exhale, add a little bit of a rotation. Let's confirm that left shoulder's placement is down. If we notice it's inching forward, maybe change the placement of the arm so that it's elbow pressing in, hand up, or vice versa. Bring it in for a hug instead. Leading with the center of the chest as you rotate over that right shoulder, sitting up really nice and tall. Take one more big inhale. And exhale, release. Feeling taller already. We'll take that same stretch with the left foot coming up, placing it on the inside or outside. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, making these adjustments as necessary from right to left. As we sit up tall, let's take that left hand behind us. We start to press the right arm in against that left knee. We look over the left shoulder. Really want to focus on the sternum, the center of our chest or our breastbone, doing the reaching here. Inhale to lift taller. Exhaling to rotate. One more big inhale. And slowly release. Coming out of that, we're going to be coming all the way down onto our mat now. So if you'd like to lay down flat on your back, we're going to start that. All right. With those final stretches, coming into the last section of our yoga practice today. While we're laying down, we'll ask that we bring our legs back up and into the body, giving ourselves a really nice big hug. Maybe we rock the legs side to side again. Or perhaps we roll the legs in little circular motions. Preparing for dead bug, also known as happy baby. Great stretch for the inner thighs, which we've done a lot of work on together today. We'll bring the feet up to the ceiling. And you can either take the hands behind the knees, or you can take the first and second finger and place them together around the big toe. A second option, or a third option I should say, would be to take our hands and just grab the outer edges of the feet. Honestly, play with it a little bit. I know I personally prefer taking the fingers and the thumb and holding the thumbs and the big toes securely. Bend the knees significantly as we press the feet up to the ceiling and just let the legs drop out to the side a little bit. Imagine that we're continuing to keep the feet working up and that we could press the soles of the feet completely flat on the ceiling if the ceiling was dropped. Noticing how relaxed we can be at this moment. I want you to let go of all insecurities. Let go of any tension. Bend the knees. Let those legs open a little bit wider, feeling a great relief happen through that iliac joint, the back into the hips, the inner thighs up through the groin. Take our last big inhale. Slowly help the legs together on the exhale and release the feet down to the ground. Taking our figure four stretch now to ensure that we've also stretched the outside of the legs. Let's cross that right ankle over the left knee. Start to just press the knee away from the face. If this feels good and this is a state that we can relax in, staying here. If we need more, let's take our hands underneath that left thigh, releasing the foot and stretching through that right hip. and release. Take our time as we cross the left foot over the right thigh now. Maybe we press the knee away with the left hand staying here, or we thread the hands under the right leg, noticing the stretch through that left hip. Let's relax the muscles in the face, the neck, and the shoulders. You can even let go of the abdomen now if you're still really focused on staying moving. Let's let those go and relax. Slowly releasing the feet down. Taking a few windshield wipers when we're ready, arms coming out to the side. Just rocking right to left. Loosening up that extra space now that we've given and we've lubricated through the joints in the back and the hips. And whenever we're ready to do so, I'll invite us to take that final resting posture, whether it's knees in, feet apart. That's a very comfortable restorative posture, especially for people taking care of lower backs. Otherwise, I'll encourage that we take either feet together, knees open in butterfly, or legs completely extended down in Shavasana. As we relax our legs, let's find the hips are also relaxed, allowing the feet to either turn out or turn in. We can have our arms staying on the stomach with right hand on the belly, left hand on the heart. This really helps with that tactile approach of feeling the heart beating and feeling the diaphragm expand and relax. And if we'd rather completely float in that imaginary sea beneath us, allowing the arms to come down by our sides with palms raised to the sky. Our eyes are closed. Our jaw is relaxed. We're focusing on that breath. Breathing in through the nose for a count of 4 or 5. And breathing out through the nose for that same count. Filling the diaphragm with air as you breathe in, nice and slow. And as we breathe out, we're doing so fully and completely, feeling the body melting into the mat. Focusing on our breathing, allowing our thoughts to stay present, being mindful. Practicing this breathing meditation and this final relaxation, we're opening our minds for more perspective, more creativity, better clarity. We're allowing ourselves to approach new or old ideas with a more open mind, a little bit more curiosity, allowing ourselves to maybe collaborate or come to a conclusion for once and for all. We're also releasing stress hormones and allowing those happier, relaxed hormones to flourish, take over. Helps with that rejuvenation feeling. Pressing that reset button. Starting to slowly wiggle our fingers and our toes. Just reawakening the body as we wiggle through the feet, the wrists, maybe drawing little circles. Feel free to bring the legs up, knees coming into the chest for one final hug, or taking any stretch that we're now aware we need to do, that we've started really moving and exploring our body. Taking our time, either staying on the floor and completing those stretches or joining me as we come over into that easy seated posture in our final resting state in order to say our proper goodbye. Sitting up really nice and tall on the mat. With our final inhale together, we'll bring our arms all the way up above our head to prayer. Exhale, coming down through heart center. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I look forward to seeing you next week as well. Have a great day.